are new to Fulfilled or who are repeat comers. I've met Darlene 4 years ago, since this is our 4th one, and she's almost become like my trusted source of like when I'm having an operational crisis. So Fulfilled is great about learning about ShipBob, but it's also for all of you type A folks out there where like your, secret joys is like shaving off like that extra ounce of like airspace that you don't have to pay for. I know a bunch of weirdos and sickos out there. I know you love it. This is like, it's like therapy, right? It's like operationals, people's dreams. Like no one outside of here understands more than you do and can empathize like what it means to get ready for peak season. So definitely connect with all the people out there. I asked Darlene all my questions, and I'm really, really excited to be able to talk to her and introduce her to you today. So Darlene is a director of fulfillment and logistics at Our Place. And if you're unfamiliar with the brand, they are everywhere. Their marketing is beautiful. They've worked with Selena Gomez. For those of you who are less like Hollywood friendly, but like our foodies out there, Mike Bagall of Alinea has like done videos with your team. And they are, if you want a cookware set, like they are the ones to be. And they are everywhere, right? I think you guys are in Nordstrom's. You guys are, you have your own stores. You sell D2C, and you use ShipBob for all of that.
Yes, we do.
And the operations people are actually the first people who have that direct customer contact, right? Your marketing people, yes, are reaching out and engaging with customers, but actually it's the directors and VPs of ops who actually have that first direct customer interaction with the actual project. So kudos to all of you ops people out there. And Darlene, if you could tell us like what makes Our Place truly unique in the home goods space?
You know what? I think the one thing I can say that's really easy is we're thoughtful. We're incredibly thoughtful with our design, our cultural storytelling, which I can tell you every time I hear it, I kind of tear up a little bit, a little emotional inside, but also our functionality. I'd like to think that I am the target market. I'm not an amazing cook. I live in a pretty small space in LA, so I couldn't really afford a 20-piece cookware set. And I really wanted something that was functional, yet aesthetically pleasing. I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with me unless we have like professional chefs everywhere and then I'm alone, then I'm alone at that point.
I don't think you're alone. And I think, let's talk about some operational bottlenecks. I think one thing that we all love about ShipBob is that it's actually a tech-forward fulfillment partner. I think, you all love your dashboards. We certainly love ours. But what were some of the operational bottlenecks you guys were facing before working with the ShipBob team?
So I think one of our operational challenges was the type of 3PL we were with. I really like to call them Timbo warehouses because they're like haphazardly running like a 3PL when they really shouldn't have been. What I mean is like pyramid stacking pallets instead of using racking. We're picking and packing by pieces of paper that get lost in the warehouse versus a scan gun. And then my favorite was the inability to have access to data. We'd have to go to 5 different points to run one report. It was just incredibly inefficient. And then when we started to think about expansion, we just couldn't envision that with our partner at that time. So now we're with ShipBob, obviously. And thanks to their webhooks, we know our metrics. And what we're really focusing now on is the outliers. And what I mean by that is, why do you need data that tells you when things are running as they should? We should be looking for what's broken. So our tech team built a channel within Slack that sends me daily notifications every morning of the performances out of each of my fulfillment centers. It'll tell me how long it took them to pick a pack and order, what is our oldest aged order, average transit time, average parcel cost, and what's most important, if we're fulfilling optimally, because if you've seen our product, our boxes are very large and bulky, and if we're shipping beyond zone 4, it's very costly. We're pretty much at a point where it's really easy to get access to the data, And my favorite thing to say right now, which some people at ShipBob may have heard already, it's rinse and repeat. No pun intended.
I think we've heard a couple people talk about this already. Jessica from Tony's, Bobby from Shopify, but the customer expectations for delivery speed and transparency are higher than ever. For those of you who love Ronnie Chung, right? He's like, it's almost un-American. Same day delivery is un-American. Prime now, I press the button, I want it in my hand now, right? For those of, no one's laughing. Okay,
I'm
no
laughing.
one, no one
I
has seen
watched
that. But is there any integration that you use today to bridge that gap between back-end logistics and customer expectations?
So I think everyone agrees that customers are really scary. Like between probably 10 years ago and now, they're quite terrifying. And so we've kind of had to find a way to navigate around customers kind of writing in all caps to us, screaming at us, and and we're like living in constant fear during the peak season. But I think what the CX team has done has been very smart in terms of implementing the tool Parcel Lab. Parcel Lab allows us to pull of our customer order statuses and get updates and share that with the customers, and it's all automated. So a few examples I can share is if a customer's package reaches the 5-day mark, we'll send an automated email that says, hey, your package is a little bit delayed. If it reaches 8 days, then we'll send another automated email that says, hey, your package might be lost. At that point, an actual CX representative will reach out and they'll try and troubleshoot the order with the customer, whether it's a send a replacement or they want a refund or anything along those lines. But what I think is super creative on CX's part is the way they're sending these messages. So I mentioned 5 and 8 days. So 5 days, the message will be something like, your package is taking a long simmer. Or at 8 days, it's done a vanishing effect. So, I mean, losing a package in itself is really annoying, but if we can kind of find a way to eliminate that annoyance, and we're going out of our way to reach out to customers, what I like to call more like a concierge service.
For those of you, I know you use Parcel Labs, we use Aftership. There are a couple others. There are some good folks at Aftership here too, if you guys want to speak to them, but I think there are others like Narvar, ShipStation. I think ShipBob also has some sort of integration that you can do with them. So for those of you who aren't giving your customers notification on what their packages is, you'd probably help out your customer care team by reducing their Wizmo questions, right? And what does operational confidence look like? And how does technology help you get there?
I think a lot of it is not about keeping things as they are. We need to empower our businesses to be able to grow, whether that is new products, new channels, or even new warehouses and any new markets. And that's why we have partners like ShipBob. They were selected because they built their backend with intention. And the same thing goes for Fulfill.io, our ERP. We didn't pick it because of the name, although I know some people now would have, but we've been with them for several years now. And their vision aligned with what we had expected in our technical architecture. So it just made sense because we wanted full control of what the back end was going to look like. Obviously, not all commercial-ready products are created equal. We were looking for a transportation management system, and honestly, our options were pretty bleak. So we built it ourselves via Airtable. And all of our freight forwarding partners now have a direct integration with Airtable. And also, we get more notifications on Slack. I know I'm a huge fan of notifications on Slack. It tells us POs that are delayed, container that's arrived at port, but there's no appointment scheduled. And it goes as far as even telling us if our freight costs against our actual invoices are correct. So there's quite a few avenues that we're able to manage that. The same can be said for inventory planning. We didn't like what was on the market, so we built it ourselves. And now we're able to share with ShipBob daily forecasts at a site level, and soon we'll also be rolling out the differences between B2B and B2C, and also at a pallet level. I think the thing to consider is instead of adding bodies to your team, why not invest in people that help you build? That's why my team is only 3 operators and 1 tech person. And we found it's worked really well. Our tech is running really smoothly. Things obviously break. It happens all the time. But it's also about ensuring that we're constantly thinking about ways to automate our workflows. And we're always thinking about also how to not get complacent. Otherwise, at what point you stop growing.
How often are you slacking the ShipBob team?
Oh, every day. McKenna and I are BFFs wherever she is.
For those of you who haven't gone to like the solutions workshop, like, you know, we love coming here too because we're never a pain in the ass, right? ShipBob obviously loves all of us, but it's a great opportunity to talk to Shai or Sagar and, you know, get all these, because I think problem shooting for any one of us probably helps a lot of their other clients too, because we all go through the same problems. As you look ahead to peak season or 2026, how are you thinking about future-proofing your tech and fulfillment strategy?
Oh, man. Okay. So, you know, everyone had to fly to get here, I imagine. Most of us did. And I literally hate flying. It's like the bane of my existence. And most of all, like turbulence, it's like my world is on fire. But you know what? You have to trust the pilot is going to get you there. And so basically what it means for us during peak is we've done everything we could leading up to peak. Our systems are in place, our tech is solid, our operational partners were handpicked because we know they deliver. So I listen to the pilot. Please be seated, fasten your seatbelt, and let him fly. We're at a point where we've had several amazing seasons with ShipBob, and every year we really don't have to worry about whether we're gonna be successful or not. But just like everyone else, we do plan for peak. We spend all year planning as soon as January 1st hits, maybe January 2nd actually. We share our forecasts, inbound, outbound, we're capacity planning. We make sure all of our packaging vendors have enough stock so we're ready to replan the fulfillment centers. But I think the most important thing is actually visiting your DCs. So if you've met me, you would have known that I've been to my DCs multiple times a year. And yes, it's very important to ensure everything is operationally sound, but it's about saying thank you because the ShipBob staff plus their partners, they're the ones that are sacrificing the most. They're spending time away from their families during the holiday season to help us fight till the end, to get to the end of the year, make it through peak, and they truly are the unsung heroes, and without them, our businesses would definitely suffer.
I'm gonna ask one more question before we open it for Q&A, but what's next for our place in terms of innovation or any particular initiatives that you want to talk about or for your fulfillment and tech strategy?
Global expansion, yay! In the coming weeks, we will be launching in the French market. We will be with ShipBob in Rotterdam. It just made sense for us in terms of speed, customer experience, and just the overall strategy. And ShipBob has been such a great partner with the implementation, just because I've literally said rinse and repeat. Opening a new site is just so easy with ShipBob. We also have a permanent space in Selfridges. So if you're in London, please come visit us. We're in the home goods section on the lower level. We just launched a couple days ago, so we'd love to see you. We also have retail and roadshows. So Costco, I think everyone's been to Costco. Roadshows, not the people at the stands that give you snacks, like the people that are actually demoing. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be, hopefully in 2026, we're expecting that we'll get to about 300 shows, which means 300 deliveries, and hopefully not 300 returns back to the warehouse. We're currently writing the playbook, so find me next year at Fulfilled, and I'll let you know how it went. I think the one big thing that everyone's been talking about is AI initiatives, right? We're expecting by next year about 50% of inquiries via CX can be automated. You know, where is my order? order cancellation, or parcel claims. We think that that is an avenue that we'll see that can be automated. We are also exploring tools that help with auditing duties and tariffs, because I'm gonna be honest, I am not an expert. I need all the help I can get. Every time we get those like tariff notices, this is changing, I have to read it like 5 times. So any help we can get is much appreciated. I think also what we are considering is that we're not just picking whatever is new on the market, but we're being really thoughtful for the type of selection we're making. Yeah.
Thanks, Darlene. Any questions?
When you visit the DCs after peak and stuff, do you bring them like Christmas gifts or anything like that?
So I actually go before peak. Because yes, you should say thank you after peak as well, but I feel like it actually helps inspires the teams. We're all operators, but most of us sit behind a computer, right? So if you're going out of your way to visit them before peak has even started and saying thank you, they haven't even done the work. Why wouldn't it inspire them? And yes, I do give them gifts. Everybody gets a pan every year, everyone, including the hubs. We do all of it.
I'm going to ask a question, actually. Darlene, if you could just describe how many markets are you in, how many countries, how many, like, I don't know if you want to share the size of orders, but just to give a sense of size, and then how big your team is in terms of supporting that.
So my team is actually really small. There's only 4 of us, because a lot of what I've been saying is all tech-driven. We really don't want to add more people to it, and I have a tech guy who's based in Barcelona. Bless him. I give him an idea, and he drives, which is amazing. I think when it comes to our footprint, we have 4 in the US, mostly because our products are really big and bulky. It made sense to have sites in California, Texas, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. We have 1 DC out of Etobicoke in Canada, Australia in Sydney, and then soon Rotterdam. In terms of retail, we are in Target. We are in some of the end caps, which has been really great. Also in Nordstrom, we do partner with them. If you're a QVC fan, we also participate with QVC and GMA. Amazon is a big avenue for us. And also, aside from Costco roadshows, we are doing custom products with Costco. Yeah.
And your team is 4 people?
Yeah, there's only 4 of us.
4.
Including me.
4 people supporting all of that. I mean, we're not in nearly as many markets, but we have a team of 2, and it's largely because of all the integrations that we do with ShipBob. For those of you who are looking at team size. Any questions?
I know you briefly mentioned the box algorithm, but I was wondering if you can talk a little bit more about your process with the box algorithm and how you've come to where you are today with it.
All right, guys, you guys ready to geek out with me? Okay. I think with box algorithms, all of us here, when you get a package, I don't know if you guys do, but for me at least, the first thing I do is judge the type of box or bag that I've gotten it in. I'm super judgy. I'm like, oh, you totally wasted this. You didn't have to ship air. You could have found a better solution. So I can probably go back a little bit. Predating ShipBob, we had a really small assortment. A lot of people actually know us by the Always Pan company, not our place, because the Always Pan was our hero product. All of our products came in from China pretty much just in the ship and own container. So all we really had to do was put a label on it and ship it out. But as our assortment grew, we realized we had to find another solution. When a customer is ordering 5 units and they're coming out in 5 boxes, one, it's just really annoying to get that many boxes, because all of a sudden it's very wasteful with packaging. And so what we did was we ended up looking for a tool that had an open API that could plug into any piece of tech that we wanted. And that's where Pacurate, a cartonization tool, came into play. We use Pacurate to analyze all of our customer order data, and it would generate customized boxes based on the customer's bundles. And from there, we built out however many boxes we wanted. So in the early stages, we had 2 master boxes because most customers were buying an always pan and a steamer basket. But now we've gotten to 5 because most people now are buying our Wonder Oven with the accessories, and those boxes are much larger. And so now what happens is customers will place our order via Shopify. It'll flow into Fulfill, our ERP. Then Packure will run in the back end, and it splits the orders into customer shipments based on the customized packaging that we have available at each site. Then the order flows into ShipBob, and we actually utilize ShipBob's box algorithm again to essentially sense check that it's a one-to-one match. Now, obviously, if there's something wrong with it, we know it's because it's either our dimensions are slightly off, or sometimes the packers struggle a little bit with Tetris, which is true. It's very true. And what I do love about the partnership with ShipBob is that they were able to build this automated report that sends us a report every morning that tells us, out of each of our sites, did any orders get split? And if they did, we can investigate. So that goes back to just your data. Your data needs to be super clean. If you're off by ½ an inch, you're gonna be paying just to ship air. So it's super important you have clean data, and from there, your box algorithm will run quite smoothly. And we've been very, very fortunate that within the first year that we did this full run-through of cleaning the data, we saved like $500,000 in parcel.
All of your products come in like custom packaging, right?
Yes,
So instead of
yes.
shipping out 5 different shipments, you're combining as many of them as you can to minimize the number of shipments, right?
Yes, and actually by using Packure, we were able to figure out, well, customers are naturally gonna buy an always pan and a perfect pot, so then we started creating bundled SKUs, so that we could like condense it even more, and so it's just one box showing up. And that way, you're not having to deal with, which I have seen in CX messages from people, why are you wasting so many boxes? No customer is ever happy.
For those of you who are looking at, shipping large items or who have large bulky SKUs, I'm sure like if you haven't heard or have used the box algorithm via ShipBob, that's probably something that might be worth exploring, or asking Darlene all of your questions. Thanks so much, Darlene.
Thank you.